Hi friends, I'm Gina. Welcome to Hope and Cope, where we talk about how to have our best life in spite of the painful and tragic choices of those that we love. So today my topic is all the roles we play, all the hats we wear, all the different things we do. Sometimes when we are going through really hard times in our life, we need to evaluate all the roles we play, all the hats we wear, stack them up on top there. And we need to just really reevaluate. What are the things that we can eliminate? What are the hats that we can just take off for a little while, set them down, put them away, and maybe pick them back up someday or not? What are some of the things that we can do to simplify our life? Some of the hats we're kind of stuck with. I don't mean to say stuck with. That didn't sound right, did it? We're always going to be that parent if you have children. Always going to be a sister, brother, mother, father. And we don't want to quit being those things. But there are some things, some hats that we wear that maybe they're even really important to us. They're really precious to us. But maybe they could find a season to just be put away for a while. So I just want to encourage you, simplify your life if that would be helpful. I know that sometimes adding is really helpful. You're going through a lot, you're struggling, and maybe taking a fun exercise class, Zumba, or picking up a hobby. Maybe you would love to do that, and it would be it would be a relief, it would be a release, it would be a break to just get away. So yes, all that's great. But if you are just bearing too much responsibility right now, you're having a hard time getting everything under control with the emotional burden you're in, maybe it's time to just step away. Just step away. If you can step away permanently if you want, that's okay. But maybe you're just going to step away temporarily. Maybe you just need to take a break. I just really, really recently did that. Things changed at my job, and learning my new role was being a lot of extra. It was just extra on me. So I really didn't want to step away from some responsibilities I have at my church that I really love, and they mean a lot to me. But I had a trusted friend that was just like, just let us do it. Just let us take care of it for a little while. Maybe you'll be back, maybe you won't, but we'll be fine. And it has really been a comfort. It's really been a relief. And so I still somewhat participate, but I'm not participating to the extent that I was, that felt like a responsibility instead of a joy. And so it's really been helpful. So I thought this might be helpful to you. You can take some of those hats off, can't you? Can't you set some of those hats aside just for a little while? If they really mean the world to you, you can always pick them back up later. Well, more than likely, I said always. I hate to use always and never because I don't really know. But, likely you could come back and pick it up later. Maybe it just needs to be modified a little bit. But don't overdo it in a time where you are going through a lot, in a time where just surviving the day, just getting up and getting busy in your life and doing your absolute basic responsibilities is a lot of work. Maybe you can just take some of those hats off. And I bet you somebody that loves you would be willing to step in. Or maybe it's something that you don't even have to do and no one's even going to miss it. Sometimes we miss the things that we do way more than somebody else does. And they're like, nah, I don't care. If that's the case, don't be bound to something just because it's the way I always did it. It's the way my mama did it, and I'm going to do it that way because by golly, whatever. Try not to be too hard on yourself. Try to realize that you can be flexible and you don't have to be rigid about things. You can be gracious to yourself. It's so helpful to just take a breath and let things go that you can let go. That maybe somebody that's watching needs to know that if you're wearing a hat that's feeling a little too heavy on you right now, you can take it off. I think you have the power and the authority to take a break or just lay it down altogether, not even knowing when you're going to come back, and just wait till a better time that you feel like you want to pick that up. And remember, I used to love to scrapbook, and I would have my friends over and we would scrapbook together, and it was great. It was great fun. And then when I started working, because my husband's addiction, he couldn't work, and we lost his business, and life was really challenging. That's the understatement of my day, or of my life maybe. But I had to take a job, and then, at first that job was very part-time, and then it got to be more part-time, and then I got offered another job that was full-time, and then I got offered another job that was, however many hours it takes, and but I held on to all that scrapbooking stuff. I held on to it for years, and I loved scrapbooking. But you know what? It mattered most to me. And yes, it mattered to me, and I wanted to get back to it. But it became a burden, because it was like all that stuff that I never did, all that stuff that I never got to, all those photo albums or scrapbooks or cards. I used to love to make my own cards, Christmas and holiday, birthdays. I loved all that. But I had to be realistic about what I could fit into my life after I worked full time. So just realize sometimes we can just let things go. And that box, even though I didn't have to do it, it felt like a failure, or it felt like a burden, because it was constantly reminding me of what I wasn't doing and all the things that I had on my cart to do. So when I just gave all that stuff away, yes, I still missed it. And I wouldn't say to this day that I don't still love scrapbooking and think it's really incredible. But I don't feel it as a burden anymore, because it doesn't hang around kind of pointing itself out to me like, here, look at this. You need to do something with this. You need to do it or get rid of it. Do it or get rid of it, So anyway, I just chose to be free from it. And even though it was something I loved, it was just not for this season of my life. Maybe it'll come back. Maybe once I retire, I'll go out and get new stuff again, and do it again. Who knows? I might. But until then, it's just not part of this season. And I can't force it in. I can't force it to be. And if I try to force it to be, I'm putting an extra burden on myself. So don't do that to yourself. Be free. Be free to just go with the seasons and go with the flow, and know what really fits and what's harmonious with your life and what's not. Trying to cram things in and behave like I was trying to behave like I wasn't working and do all the things I did, because I didn't want to lose my quality of life. But I was still losing my quality of life. I was still working all those hours. Just take those hours out of my life and give them to somebody else. And then I was hurting myself by trying to cram all that stuff in to my condensed amount of unassigned time, and then it all just was too much, and it wasn't the joy anymore. Not to say getting together with my friends and shooting the breeze and laughing and cutting up and stuff wasn't still fun, but after that, it just got to be where I had to be realistic about what I could do and what I couldn't do. All the baking and all the canning or freezing of things and getting things in the, for the winter, and oh my gosh, just all the domestic stuff that I did before, it just had to be modified, because people mattered more to me than all that stuff. And so I just had to prioritize so I could still be sweet and kind and friendly and not bitter and resentful and like, it's going to get done. If I have to ruin everybody's day to do it, I'm going to check this stuff off my list. By golly, No, it's not. It loses a little something if we get like that, So just take those hats off, lay them down. You don't have to throw them away. You don't have to give them away. Just put them down for a little while and be kind to yourself, and just keep your priorities in order. And you will, my experience was I was happier to not try to just burden my cart with so many unrealistic things. And just one more real quick little thing, and to really be grateful for the time that I had. The way I tried to look at it was, instead of something being taken away from me, I tried to look at it like all the years that I had that privilege, all the years that I had the ability to do those things with my time that I really wanted to do. Because some people don't have that ever. And I did. I had the time and the resources to have those extra things in my life that were a lot of fun. And so I just try to relish those memories and not resent what I don't have now. And just realize everything is not a permanent addition to your life. Some things are just seasonal. And so just maybe you're wearing a seasonal hat that you could take off. Okay? I hope that's helpful. I love you. I pray for you. I pray for everybody that watches my videos. So if you need prayer, keep watching my videos because I'm praying for you. Bye-bye.